Hey everybody, it's Detective Bacon from the Media Relations Unit. We are here to talk about a very serious topic, and that is suicide awareness and suicide prevention. We have seen in the police department increases in suicides, and so we are here today at the City of Tempe Care 7, and I'll let them explain who they are and what Care 7 means. But basically, we are with some experts to help people with some resources and things that they can do and their families can do to help with suicide prevention and awareness. And so with me I have Martha Williams from Care 7 and Annia Salas from Care 7 as well. So Martha, would you please just kind of introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Martha. I've been with Care 7 for almost 16 years now as a crisis intervention specialist. So I am part of the crisis response unit that goes out into the community with police and fire to assist residents in need. So Care 7 works closely with the police department and the fire department, but we're a whole separate entity. Families or people in crisis can call us directly if they don't want to involve the police or the fire department, or if it hasn't risen to that level yet.
Okay, and Annia?
I'm Annia Salas. I work in the counseling services portion of Care 7. I've been with Care 7 for 4 years. And I've been in the field for 7 years. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I've been doing counseling for 7 years.
Excellent. And so what we want to do today is talk to our viewers a little bit about things that both family can see, friends can see, and people who may feel suicidal themselves, some resources and things that they can do to help themselves. Oftentimes, people don't want to call the police department because they feel like they may get in trouble for something, even though we are there to help. And so we're going to have you provide some information and resources where maybe they can contact directly. So Martha, we'll start with you because you do a lot of field things, you respond and you help people in these aspects. So what are some things that family members and friends can start to see when it comes to suicide prevention and awareness?
So the most obvious would be direct threats. I'm gonna kill myself. I feel like hurting myself. I can't do this any longer. Indirect threats, a little more gray. I'm tired of this. You won't have to worry about me much longer.
And I think with the indirect and direct, that's also where you might see a social media post about, including one of those statements. And that's a good sign to step in and say, reach out to that person and ask some questions if you're a family or a friend. There's a variety of clues that we can look for when somebody is beginning to think about suicide or already having a plan. So direct and indirect statements, but also behavioral changes. Acquiring a gun or stockpiling pills or things that just seem different or maybe out of the ordinary. Sleep changes, not getting enough sleep, agitation, irritability, those would be behavioral changes. Situational clues are big events that happen in people's lives, health changes, pandemic, or moves or loss of jobs. The big point here is that there's several categories we just listed. Any one of those things would be a good opportunity to reach out to somebody and say, directly, are you thinking about killing yourself? And not be afraid to ask that question. And like we said, make sure you have time to listen for the answer and then look for some help.
And so that's not like a checklist. One of those things, independent of each other, is an indication, is something that somebody should ask a question about.
Absolutely.
Social media today is such a big thing. What kind of encouragement can we give viewers in terms of friends, family? What are some concerning things that happen on social media that might start to be a clue or a trigger that maybe somebody isn't doing real well mentally? We'll start with you, Martha.
I think posts that are out of character, certainly anything direct, but those kind of veiled statements that you recognize as unusual for that person. Maybe any level of agitation or anger that's outside of the norm. Also, if you know that someone you love has experienced a loss recently, loss of job, loss of relationship, loss of anything significant, that's a risk factor.
And some of the posts could be something as similar as like, it's been fun, goodbye. And maybe it seems innocent, goodbye, but that could be something that, should be a phone call to somebody to say, hey, I'm a little worried about what's going on with this post.
And
Yes.
And we take all of those comments seriously. The idea is to prompt a discussion and to look at the comment and decide what's appropriate. But at first, I think any of those comments, you won't have to worry about me for much longer, kind of vague comments still indicate a need.
Sure. And people oftentimes say, oh, they're just trying to draw attention to themselves, but wouldn't we rather act very serious on that and just make sure that that's all it was is attention seeking versus it really was someone who ends up killing themselves and they basically put it out there and it was ignored.
Yes. I think what I'll add to that is absolutely, I think anytime somebody says something like, whether it's a cry for help or we think that they're attention seeking, it's important to respond to that because suicide is preventable.
Martha, talk to us about some of the myths that might be out there about having a conversation with somebody who is suicidal.
Just like people think that I shouldn't have this conversation or I shouldn't engage with my loved one because it's going to make it worse. And that's absolutely not true. It's a difficult conversation to have, but however awkward it is, it's still more important that you do it than ignore the warning signs. And I think when I'm engaging with clients and we're really talking, the family members and the friends have noticed things.
Talk to us about what resources, phone numbers, things that people can do to call to research help on their own.
Sure. So Care 7 is a 24-hour-a-day program. Our crisis response units are available. But we do have a main phone number that if you want to talk resources, if you want to know what your options are, or if you're concerned for a family member and you're getting ready to have one of these conversations, I encourage people to call our main phone number, 480-350-8004. It's not a hotline. We don't have staffing for a full hotline, but we are pretty quick to respond. Additionally, the community has resources available. There are suicide hotlines. There are Crisis Response Network. People who are already connected to mental health services might have their own clinic or case manager that they can reach out to. There are various behavioral health facilities throughout the valley that are appropriate for different demographics: adults, adolescents, children, people over the age of 55, people with co-occurring disorders. So those are the kind of resources that if someone were to call Care 7 will help walk them through all the options and kind of get them going on the path they need.
Well, thank you both so much for taking some time out of your day to talk to us. This is a very, very important topic. If we can save one life, then this is definitely our goal, is to help people, to give them the resources, introduce some faces that they may see in the future when they make the phone call that they want to help themselves and want to help somebody else. So we thank both of you so much for everything that you do, not just for the citizens of Tempe and for the city of Tempe, but for everybody that's out there. So thank you very much. This is Detective Bacon. Please make sure that if you are suicidal or know someone who's suicidal, that you really take heed to the advice that's been given today and help those and help yourselves. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you again soon.